Hey, good morning, everybody. Brannon Beliso here. Wow, I'm still just on a high. I was working with Sure Martial Arts out in Dublin, California, and the rebranding to Empower Martial Arts. And as we were doing the work, talking about how we integrate the brand into hello at the front door to the way we answer the phone, in this case, the word empower, right? Empower Martial Arts. Answering that phone, Empower Martial Arts, Brannon speaking, or teaching a warm-up. People are doing jumping jacks. You know, who's going to get healthy and feel empowered? Johnny, you look empowered. You're doing that jumping jack at a level 10. You know, right down to, am I empowering my teammate by not consistently working my shift at work? To how do we empower adults? How do we speak that message? Well, adults want self-defense, they want confidence, but how do we say it in such a unique way where we are empowering them? You feel where I'm going with this? And it's just such amazing work. And when I learned about working with this brand last night and cultivating the brand of Empower Martial Arts so that it's interwoven into every thread and fabric that make up the community of Empower Martial Arts, that a brand that is sustainable and growth oriented is not $19.99, you know, for 3 classes and a uniform. It is not a slick sales script. It is not, how can I get the most money out of this student because every piece of data has proven they'll be gone in 18 months, so I have to squeeze as much money out of them as possible. Hey, what's up, Alex? What's up, Don? How's it going? Jack Dark, Lyle. What's happening? What's happening? Stephanie. So I've learned that if you want to build a sustainable, growth-oriented brand, it must begin with the why. It must begin with that deep sense of passion that, you know, it can't even be equaled. It cannot even be equaled. Man, everybody's coming on. John, Patrick, what's happening, sir? So when we talk about cultivating a brand, it all begins with the why. And I share that passionately. For us in this case, it's live your best life. You call our schools right now, we will answer the phone. Live your best life at One Martial Arts. If we're bowing out of class before they walk off the floor, we shout out, class, what are you going to go out there and do? Everybody shouts, live your best life, sir. If I see a dad in the waiting area, I go up and shake his hand. Hey, sir, how you doing today? You living your best life? Oh, no, I need to come in and work out. So once you understand your why, and you come up with that mission statement and then that short tagline that is a shorter version of it, in our case, live your best life, then you live, teach, and preach it. You live, teach, and preach it in every thought, word, and action. And that's how we cultivate a tribe. Because once you have your nucleus of that tribe, you know, those raving fans, and you should read that book, Tribes, by Seth Godin. Read the book Tribes by Seth Godin. Once you have that tribe, they're going to be your best form of marketing. They will go out there and tell people, you know, left and right. Here's a classic example. During its time, we had all the school owners observing class on a Saturday. They're from Germany, Spain, all over the country. And they got to talking to one of our moms. And I didn't know this because I'm not in the location that often. She told them that they moved away 50, they moved 50 miles away, and they looked for another martial arts school, and they'd found nothing out there that equaled the experience we created for them. So every Saturday, this woman drives her daughter 50 miles both ways, so 100 miles total. This woman drives 100 miles total for a 45-minute class. Tell me that's not a raving fan. Wow. And imagine if you have 1,000 of those, what they can do to go out there and recruit organically more members just by expressing the experience they're getting and how satisfied they are with that experience. So when we talk about the power of a brand, it will never be rooted in some sales script. It will never be rooted in, you know, how do I get the most money out of this student? It will never, ever, ever be built in an upgrade. It simply will not. You know how you build the power of a brand? With a woman that's willing to drive 50 miles both ways to bring her daughter for a 45-minute class. That's how you build your brand. That's where the power comes from. So what does it all begin? Know your why. What is your why? You know, in our case, as I shared, our why is live your best life. I'm trying to read what John's saying. That's awesome. Many of my students do the same thing. However, they don't really recruit for me. But they should, John. They should. You know, there may be just one little tweak you need to make there to get them in that position where they will refer. They will absolutely refer you. Cool? Hey, what's up, Jason? Virginia, what's happening, man? So, spend that time. Understand your why. Cultivate that why. And I'm working with this team, you know, at soon to be Empower Martial Arts, and we're talking about that. You know, one of the exercises I did with them is we wrote the word Empower Martial Arts in the middle of a circle. Then we wrote the programs around it. So in this case, their, you know, preschool program, their adult program, their teen program, their black belt class, their leadership. And then under that heading, I wanted 3 things you do in leadership that empower people. Wow. Wow. And you can do that with every one of your programs. So in case, Ken, what's happening, Ken? Hey, what's up, Jeremy? What's happening? So in Ken's case, right, he's Anaheim Krav Maga. What's his why? I don't know, Ken. Put it in there. I know you have a why. Put your why in there if you want to, Ken. And once you understand that why, then you can write it into the content of a website. We had the adults talking about how martial arts has empowered them. And it's a conversation they never really had, okay? And we were able to develop content for their webpage. We were able to develop pain points for the copy for their Facebook ads and Instagram ads. You see, but it all begins where? With the why. And in their case, it's Empower Martial Arts. We empower people, right? The why is really what it's about. Everybody, please watch the Simon Sinek piece, The Golden Circle. It's one of the most watched TED Talks. And he delves deeply into so many businesses live, function, and market from what are we? In this case, a martial arts school. Some might get to how do we do it? Quality martial arts instruction, right? And you look at their ad. We have the best martial arts instruction in the Tri-City Valley, okay? But very seldom do people get to the why. So if I were to ask that question, you know, I ask this one all the time. Why do I want to come to your school versus Joe Martial Arts down the street? And if you sing the same song and dance that's been regurgitated 1,000,000 times in our industry, we teach focus, we teach confidence, we are a family black belt martial arts school, then you're singing the same song as everybody else. And the challenge with that is I, as a consumer, do not have anything to differentiate you from another martial arts school. So if two schools are singing the same song, what is my buying decision based upon? Who's closer to me and who's cheaper? Now, if I sang the same song as everybody else, do you believe this woman's going to drive 50 miles each way on a Saturday for a 45-minute class? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So once you understand your why, once you've written out your mission statement, once you've written out that short tagline, then you live, teach, and preach it. So how do we live our best life? Well, we train our team. They can't live their best life if they're not confident when they step on that mat to teach. Well, how do we live our best life? We make sure that we create that Disney experience for every student walking through that door. How do we do that? With brand absolutes. One of our brand absolutes borrowed from the Ritz-Carlton is the 5x10 rule. We say hello within 5 seconds of you walking in that door. Ritz-Carlton, what they have, the 5x10 fundamentally, they come within 10 foot of somebody, they'll nod and acknowledge them. They come within 5 feet, they will greet them, unless they're busy on a cell phone or talking to somebody. Cool? So in our school, the way we apply that is we say hello within 5 seconds of walking through that door. Now, why is that a brand absolute? I believe people live a better life if they feel welcome and wanted. So we say hello within 5 seconds of walking through that front door. Now, everybody says hello. Because, yeah, it's cool. Front desk says hello to you. I think that's kind of cool. But now, if everybody from front to back says hello, you're really living your best life. And we do that. All my guys are teaching. They'll say, hey, see you later, Johnny. Boom, back to teaching. Hey, welcome to the class, Mary. Boom, back to class. So for us, I think it's very, very important to understand the power of a brand. Look at Apple. And I know people rip on Apple products all the time. I see it. You know, I posted a post recently. Should I get the Android or should I get the Apple? And the people that chose the Apple just simply chose the Apple. They loved the Apple, and that was it. But the people that loved Android had no hesitation on ripping the Apple brand apart. And I analyzed that. I'm going, wow, look at that. The people who love Apple simply rave about Apple without criticizing the Android platform. But the people that were advocates for the Android went right for Apple and attacked them. So look at that for a minute. Are those the people you want in your tribe? Think about that. Do you want somebody that loves your brand and criticizes and puts down every other martial arts school, within a 10-mile radius? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I study Apple a lot. And that's amazing to me how people just love Apple and don't spend any of their energy or time criticizing or ripping on other brands. That I found very, very, unusual and unique when I went through that post later on. So I believe the power of the brand is rooted in the why. And that why is what builds a sustainable, growth-oriented business. That's it. Long and short. I've been researching this for, I don't know, well over a decade. Well over a decade. I used to sit with a little black book in the Apple store, and I asked them if nature was okay, and I would just stand there and watch the experience. I go to Disneyland, and I do the same thing. And anywhere where people congregate, where people flock to, I want to understand why. I really, really do, because there's a lot of information, there's a lot of data in there that we will never get simply teaching on a mat or living within our, 2,000 square foot or 3,000 square foot martial arts school, whatever size that may be. It really is, and in this unique type of learning and data, you can only get by recognizing there is no box. You need to go outside that box and stop. Just reading these ads, where somebody walks by and they're standing in front of a Bentley. Stop it, because that probably has nothing to do with your culture or your why, right? And stop focusing on how to get 10 more students. Focus on building a brand, building a culture, and you'll not only get 10 more students, you'll keep the 10 that you have. You feel me? And I'm so passionate about that. Cool? All right, tomorrow night, Success Never Sleeps. We're continuing working on planning our 2019 calendar. We're going to do April, May, and June. So if you haven't gotten that big desktop calendar, get it now. Get a couple of number 2 pencils. Get an eraser, all right? And start filling out that calendar January, February, March. Go back and listen to last week's Success Never Sleeps. Fill out January, February, and March. And while you're there, put in testing dates, doctor's appointment, estimated taxes, vacations, everything. Because then whatever dates aren't filled, you can post and say, hey, Brannon, I've got a Saturday on, April 30th open. What could I put there? Because success is based upon planning. Success isn't just, a Hail Mary pass. You want to cultivate it and you want to make it happen. Cool? All right. This is Brannon Beliso. I'll see everybody tomorrow night. Success Never Sleeps, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Disruptor page. All right? And for all my products and learning and more information, go to brannonbeliso.com. Until we talk again, please go out there and live your best life.